You're tuned in to Streamer Conversations, the podcast spotlighting Twitch streaming pioneers who are reshaping entertainment one broadcast at a time. I'm Nerd Titan, your host and fellow streamer, bringing you authentic conversations with the innovative creators behind your favorite content. Our mission is simple: share the compelling stories behind the streams. We'll explore pivotal moments, personal challenges, and transformative experiences that happen when people share their passions with global audiences. Before we continue, let me tell you about our sponsor, AdvancedGG. Hey, if you're serious about gaming, you know staying sharp is everything. That's where AdvancedGG comes into play. Energy and focus supplements made for gamers who want to keep their edge. With their new sour black cherry flavor, it's incredible. Bold, with just the right amount of tartness. Whether you're grinding rank or pulling an all-night stream, this stuff helps you stay locked in. And the best part? You can grab 10% off your order with code NerdTitanTV10. No minimum, just straight up savings. Hit up AdvancedGG and fuel your game the right way. Greetings, I am Nerd Titan with Streaming Conversations. Today we're sitting with Ladymalicysin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. It's always a good day. It's really hot where I'm at. I'm in Texas, so it's hot.
It's I'm in Tennessee, so it's
getting
really
hot.
hot here too.
It's getting hot.
Yes.
Yes.
We had we had spring for I think about 6 hours and it went straight to summer.
Okay, so what initially drew you to streaming on Twitch? Was there a specific moment or experience in your life that pushed you towards broadcasting yourself for the world?
Well, I actually like a lot of other streamers. I actually got into streaming back in 2020 during the pandemic.
Yes.
I had a friend that was doing it himself, and he was talking to me. He was like, "Hey, this is why don't you stream? I think you would be good at it." And I was like, I don't know. I don't know." And I kind of waffled on it. And then it was about a week after my birthday. I was sitting there. I had my PlayStation because I didn't have a gaming laptop at the time. And I had my PlayStation there. And I'm like, you know what? I was going to play a game anyway. Why don't I just set everything up so I can stream? And I did that, and I have been streaming ever since.
I started during the pandemic as well. In 2020, in the beginning of the pandemic, I was a bartender. And when everything shut down, I stopped being a bartender.
Yeah.
Take us back to your very first stream. What game were you playing? And how did you feel right before you hit that go live button?
So that's actually an interesting story. So I originally was going to play BioShock because it's like one of my favorite games. And I hit, because I was doing through my PlayStation, I hit stream and I'm like playing and had my mic and everything. And same friend says, you know that it's just it's just showing a black screen. So there was like some kind of like control thing on it that wouldn't let you stream that particular game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh God, okay, let me find something else. And I found Until Dawn. And I started streaming that. And now I have been streaming that. I'm like a big fan of the company now. So that was my first streaming game, and the first game that I streamed. And I loved it so much because it was kind of like, I'm a I love horror. I'm a big horror nerd.
Yeah.
I go to conventions and things
Me
like that.
too.
Yeah. I just went last month. I went to Horror Hound in Cincinnati.
Oh, that's awesome. That's one I've been wanting to go to.
Yeah.
I'm a huge horror fan. Like in my world, John Carpenter cannot make a bad movie when it comes to
Yes.
horror. Like it's just every one of them. I'm one of those weird moviegoers that sees all the alternate endings and like I speculate the ending. I'm one of those people when it comes to horror.
Oh, I'll do, like, I'll have, like, my own little there like, let's say like, with let's say, like, with Halloween and how they have, like, the different endings and stuff, I will sit there and, like, I bet you I could come up with a theory to put these all in the same universe. Um, did it a lot with, because 'cause I'm also a big sci-fi fan, I did that a lot with Terminator. So, like, all the Terminator movies and all the, stuff like that,
I've done it for
uh
Aliens and Predator because
yes.
the Wayland Corporation is it shows up in Event Horizon. The event, yeah, the
I'm
ship.
gonna have to watch
Yeah,
that.
watch it when they do the first pan on the ship. It's a Wayland logo.
I have never in all the years that I've watched Event Horizon, and I watched it, like, maybe 3 weeks
Yep.
ago, I've never noticed
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I was a huge Aliens fan to begin with, and then when I saw Event Horizon, that movie blew me away. Even though, like, to me it wasn't a success when it first came out, like I just loved it. Like the sci-fi horror. I love sci-fi horror. You don't get a lot of
Yeah.
good sci-fi horror. Um,
Yeah, you don't.
yeah. So many streamers talk about the awkwardness of talking to seemingly no one at first. How long did it take before you felt comfortable with your own on-stream persona? And what moments helped you break through that initial discomfort?
So, to some degree, I still kind of feel not comfortable. But I actually kind of use that uncomfortable feeling to kind of push myself out of my shell. And I just like imagine that I am talking to my friends, like I'm playing a game and
Yeah.
I'm talking to my friends. It's like, oh, let me show you how to do this. It's like I um or like I have to get the timing down on this. So I start like, okay, jump, jump, you know, right trigger, whatever the case may be. And actually kind of focusing and getting in your mind that, you're talking to, just think of it as you're just talking to a friend. Um I've gotten more and more comfortable with it, but I do have that moment of nervousness when I first hit the start streaming button, where I'm like, "Oh, I I don't know if anyone's gonna be in here, and, I may not have anyone to talk to," and I was like, "You know what? You do. They're just not,
You
you're
you know
talking to your friends."
you know what? So I have people think I have magic powers. They really do because I will spot a streamer. I'll use my friend Tyrex, for example, when she was just a baby affiliate. I mean, I was there for her third stream and I told her that she would be partner. I've done this numerous times and they've all become partners. And hanging out with them, and she's got like, she's in the 100, 200 average viewer range. Like, you know what I mean? And when she tells me, she goes, yeah, I think no one's going to show up. Like, to me, that blew me away. That because she still thinks that way. She still thinks the same way. I think with my averages, you know what I mean? Like no one's going to
Yeah.
show up, but you know what? Someone always does. Someone
Yeah,
always shows up.
I'm always just like, "No one's gonna show up," and that used to, like, actually psych me out a little bit.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I actually did, which, I see recommended to streamers all the time, is to, um, take off your view
Yep.
count.
I haven't had my view count on in 4 years. Like,
Yes.
like I could not tell you who's in my stream. The only I use Mixupbot, and so I have a file of that only shows me when my mods are in chat. If you're not a mod, I don't see you because I like to know if I have a mod in chat. You know what I mean? I like to go, hey, I need this remind command done, or hey, can we get a shout out? You know what I mean? If I look over and there's no mods, or I always have at least one or two, but like if I look over and I know they're not there, I know to do it. But like I haven't had mine turned on in forever. And all I did to get better at talking to no one was imagine I was making a YouTube video, like at my desk. Like I just I had everything kind of planned out and what I was going to say and do, or monologue, or like let my brain just kind of take over. And I just imagined I was making a YouTube video. And when people popped in, it just added to the mix. You know what I mean? I was already like
Yeah.
talking about stuff and like, they're like, oh, have you tried this in this game? I'll say, oh, I haven't tried that. Let me try that. Like, you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I think we all learn skills. Like it's all about skill learning and adapting things that we use in like our day to day 8 9 to 5 life, and like and then we adapt them to streaming. Like I'm privileged. I came from a musician background and a performance background, that it was easy for me to handle the tech issues and sound issues stuff and understand performance. Um, Beyond just low viewership, what specific challenges were you prepared for when you started streaming?
That I weren't prepared for
Yeah, they
or
weren't
what?
prepared for.
Oh, oh, one of the biggest one is I can think of is that I am notorious for forgetting, like, I'm talking and I'm like, I'm just talking and going and then realize I'm not on the right scene
Yeah,
or my microphone is muted. And then I go back and I was like, "Hey guys, pro streamer here. Completely forgot to turn
yeah,
on the
yeah.
mic."
Yeah, I forgot to, because I use an Elgato Wavelink, so it mutes it in Elgato. I mute automatically my starting soon, my BRB, and my ending soon. So on my Stream Deck, those are it's auto when I press it, it mutes the channel. I was so notorious for not unmuting myself on like my just chatting or my gameplay, that one of my mods was like, "How about you make a mute emote?" I was like, so I just found like an icon that was a microphone with a line through it, made it red, and like so now like people love that emote, and it's just a follower emote. You know what I mean? Like as long as you follow my channel, you can use it in my channel to let me know that I'm muted.
Yeah.
I made
Oh,
a joke about it.
that is an excellent idea. I mean,
You can use it. Like I
well,
tell
thank you.
everyone that sees it, like everybody that sees it and goes, "Oh my god, this is such a greatest idea," because you're not drawing super attention to it. Um, for people like, "Oh, he muted his mic," like the negative people that we get in our streams, and we do get negative people. Um, but it's just an emote. It's like, "Oh, I'm muted." I just reach over and I hit unmute on my stream deck. Um, can you pinpoint when streaming shifted from just a hobby to something more significant in your life?
Um, like when I started thinking about and planning out what I was gonna stream, like, ahead of time. When I
Yeah,
first started, it was like, whatever game I can get, I'm gonna, I'll get it and play. But when I started to really get into streaming and then find my love of streaming, I started to notice I tend to be more engaged with, um interactive stories and with like horror games and stuff like that. And then I started planning out content, and not only for streams but also like I originally had like the TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff, just like to put on my to throw my clips on. But then I started like thinking of other content to do, like, doing, you know, like arts and crafts and stuff like that.
absolutely.
So when I started, yeah, it's when I started actually like, okay, okay, I did this stream and I started thinking, okay, what did I do on this stream? What can I, because that's one of my practices is like, okay, I did this on this stream. Um, what can I do better next time? What can I change? What can I do to make it like more engaging? And just thinking about that, that's when I think it stopped being just like a hobby and became something that I wanted to actively pursue.
Absolutely. Um, when that all clicked and you're like in your mind, you knew I'm going to actively pursue this. What was like what was happening in your stream when you first felt genuine momentum building?
Um,
Like, was it a
Honestly,
raid? Was it a clip of like going viral, or was it something that like grew gradually over time?
so it kinda grew gradually over time, but it was, I had taken a extended break, last year, and I got back, and I was playing the Quarry, and I
Great,
had,
great game.
um yes, it is, I need to replay it. I'm actually trying to talk a couple of my friends who also have the game, was like, "You guys don't have to be on camera. Just, like, we'll just have our voice, and we'll just play it because it's such a great game." Um, but one of my clips from the Quarry, like, got over 1,000 views, and I had never before in my life had anything that had, like, it was, like, 1,400 views, and it's, like, still steadily growing.
Yeah, I have a thread that got 390,000 views and thousands of likes and comments. I ended up having to message a friend of mine, go, because she's had views get millions and millions of views. I was like, "What do you do?" And she was like, "Just turn off your phone. Like, wait for that initial like virility to calm down and like ignore all the hate and comment genuinely." I was like, "Okay, thank you."
Yeah, it was at first, and that one got a lot of comments too, and I was like, at first, it was like I was answering everything, and I got a little overwhelmed. It was
Yeah,
like, and it was also one of those things, I also kinda got a little bit inside my head about, like, what was so different, like, it wasn't like my first it wasn't my first horror game or anything like that. What was so different, and what can I do? And then, like, I got to a point, kinda like what your friend said, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna
yeah,
walk away from my phone. I'm gonna, like, just, like, be happy that, there are people out there that enjoyed it, and it also kinda gave me, and when I thought about it that way, it kinda gave me, like, this, like, warm feeling. It was like, "Oh, there's other people that enjoy stuff like this, like me," you know?
yeah, absolutely. You talked about your extended break, and I've taken one too. I took a 9 month break last year. Um, were you feeling burnout or disencouragement in streaming? And was there a low point where you actually seriously considered just being like, "I'm not coming back," or did you,
Um,
or was it like something you knew you were coming back to?
so my extended break was like when I first started, I always thought I was gonna come back. And, it was a combination of things. It was, um, like, being tired, being burnt out. I was working a lot at work, so I was always tired. Um, um, just mental, like, some mental health issues and things like that. So, every time I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be the time that I'm gonna come back," I always made an excuse as to why I didn't come back. And when I actually sat down and I started thinking about it, it was like, okay, you need to find your joy and find your love in this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was also a little bit of a combination of, like, also I always there was, like, these times where I was having, um also at the time it was, some, health issues because I have a chronic illness,
Oh,
and
same seas.
in yes. Oh god.
Yeah,
The s
I'm disabled. I have a terminal illness, so like I'm disabled. That's why I'm able to do all the stuff that I do. 'Cause
Yeah,
the government has said that I'm not allowed to work.
yeah. Um, a and and having something like that is a struggle of its own, and honestly, about the time I took the break, I was kind of in a really not great place with
Yeah.
all like what was going on, and that didn't contribute to my mental health. And then like somehow my view count came on, and and I'm like seeing, and there's like no one there. And then it was like, and then a couple of times, the only time I got any like, feedback was like bots coming in, like, we can get you 100,000
Siri
follow
bot.
viewers.
Siri bot. I've been using Siri bot for 3 years. I don't remember the last time my mods or myself had to deal with a spammer.
Ooh, okay. I
Like,
need to.
yeah, I'll send you a link. I have a tutorial on how to do it, how to set it up. It's real simple. You'll never get those spam bots. The only ones you'll get are legitimate human beings that are trying to sell you something that graphic design wise. I I think they've gotten the message with me because I make them cry, and they ended up blocking me because I've been a graphic designer since 1999. I worked for an ad company. I was an art director. I am the worst art director they will ever see. I will tear up their art
Yeah.
because cold going to someone's stream. Twitch streamers don't have money. Like even the big ones, like aren't making it. You know what I mean? They're they're paying their bills, but they're not like, oh, I'm going to spend $200 on a logo. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and for the most part, like all my mods, I've designed their logo for them. They didn't ask me. It was more of like, because I'm retired now, I was like, oh, I want to do that logo. I'm just going to keep my creative wheels going. And I did it for them, all of them, because there's people in the community that will do it for you and they won't charge you because they want to show their support in some way. But yeah, Serybot, Serbot. And
Okay.
around.
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
definitely gonna get that.
Yeah, you'll
Definitely.
never. I joke with my mods saying now they have nothing to do, so they can play video games with me. Like before, because they're always dealing with stuff. They're always trying to block it, ban it, and then they just make a new account. But Serybot has millions and millions of people in their database. And what they do also is they send it to Twitch.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah, they report them to Twitch as well. So hopefully, eventually, in 10 years, we'll have them all dealt with. We all have streaming nightmare stories, like you've spoken about, the dealing with the bots. What's your most catastrophic technical failure that happened live, and how did you handle
Um,
it in the moment?
so my most catastrophic was when, for some rhyme or reason, and I even to this day I can't figure out what was going on. Um, I could stream for 5 minutes, and then it everything switched off. Like it just like stream ended, blue screen of death,
Sounds
and
like
then like
encoder error. That was
yeah.
freezing. So this happened to me the other day. So I have a dual PC setup. My For some reason when I was changing some settings in my stream PC, I set the bitrate way too high, and it was freezing up my computer. Like enough, it wasn't freezing enough for it to crash, but it was freezing enough. My audio went out. I was in a Discord call collaborating with some people, and my audio went out. And I looked over, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's bad." Like, and I fixed it, but like, that's what it sounds like as a person that was in tech.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was just something where, like, I would go and then it would do it again, and then it had started, like, I would go for, like, 30 minutes or an hour, and then all of a sudden it did it again.
Yeah,
Um, and I finally, like, I got on, I was like, "Hey, guys, I'm having some issues, but let me let me s I'm not gonna try to stream anymore tonight. I'm just gonna go ahead and try to figure out what the issue was." And, um, and I and one of the ways that I actually figured it or, fixed it was, I changed the server that I was going to.
yes, that has a huge difference as well because,
Yeah.
like I live near Houston. The Houston server is always overloaded. So I use the Galveston server, which I live closer to, but it's not as overloaded. Like it always sends me to Houston because Houston's the bigger city, but I live in
Yeah.
Galveston, and which is a smaller server, but it works better for me. So I always say check your servers, and if they have numbers next to them, find one that doesn't have numbers. like is there a skill that you're looking to improve upon that that you're still trying to work to improve?
So, I would say probably it's my editing,
Yes.
for, uh, like, creating videos and stuff like that, or even, like, just, like, creating, like, content for TikTok and YouTube
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I have, because I actually originally had went to school for, communications for, PR. And then I actually am a, quality assurance analyst. Uh, my uh, my secret identity. um, and it was like when I started getting into it, it was like I had friends that were like uploading their videos, and they were like, "Oh, I'm just taking the VOD from Twitch and just throwing it up on YouTube."
Yeah.
And I did that for a while, and I was like, personally, I don't like that. So let me just, tweak this. Let me get some of the dead air outs and the
Yeah.
and things like that. And I'm actually starting to see a lot of improvement in it, in my editing. And one of the other things that I did recently is like at the first of the year, or into last year, first of the year, I was on this big Baldur's Gate
We
kick
all were. We
where,
all were. We still
oh
are.
God,
The new patch
still,
dropped. Still are.
I know I need to download the new patch. Right now I'm obsessed with South of Midnight.
South of Midnight.
Um,
I love South of Midnight. Uh, as somebody that I love that game. It's so good.
so it's so good. Um, but with the Baldur's Gate thing, I basically decided, I was like, I'm gonna play with some software, and I took all of like my gaming clips, because you can set up your Steam where
Yep.
it like records everything, and I took like these epic moments of my character, and I made like I called it the badass trail, because my character's name is Tanzan. I was like, the badass trailer Tanzan needs, and I like did that, and I set it to some music, and I actually got like, wow, this is like really, just like really really good, and that actually helped me improve on how to like do everything for my like with my vods too.
Yeah. Yeah. I still upload my VOD, but what I like to do is put little montages. You know what I mean? Or like the best of the scene, or if it was a powerful scene, like a cinematic. Because I play a lot of story games, and it's a lot of survival craft. So like I like to do like either time lapses and stuff. But I think that's better than just uploading. I just upload the VOD because there are some people I found out in my community that just want to watch the VOD. Like
Yeah.
I have a VOD community, I guess. So you work with what you got. Um, Speaking of communities, they can be powerful forces. Can you share a specific moment where your community came together in a way that genuinely moved you?
Um, yes. It was actually, I was playing with one of my friends. I think it was a way out. We were playing because we both shared the same birthday, and we decided we were going to celebrate by doing Twitch. And we got a troll who was trying to spoil what was going to happen. And the people that were in my community and were in the chat right then, basically like, no, you're not going to do this. She's a person. She is learning the game. She's just having fun. We're all just having fun. um And I actually kinda apologized. I was like, "Sorry, I know I'm not the best gamer," and they were like, "You don't have to be the best gamer. You're like we're just all sitting here, um, like, you make us seem like we're all sitting on a couch having fun." Just like
Absolutely.
and that when they said that, I was like, "Oh my god, thank you. Give me 1 second while I try to, like, fight back the tears." I was like, "Give me a minute," and but yeah, when they said that, it was like and that was and that has always kind of been my game. My not my game, but that has always been kind of like what I wanted to do. Because when I first, before I got into streaming, I was watching people stream. And when you come into the stream, it was like just so welcoming. It was like you're walking into the clubhouse where all your friends have gathered, and you're just like, "Hey, I've watched this movie and played this game. Well, how did you get this part?" And I always had that feeling when I've been in other people's streams, and I wanted to make sure that I was giving that feeling. And I don't always feel like I'm doing that, but when they did, like, one just stood up for me, but two also is like, hey, no, we love you because, and we love your streams because you're just like having fun and laughing at yourself and not taking yourself seriously. um and it helps us too. We have someone that you know listens, and you come in, like someone comes into your stream and you'll like ask them how they're doing, or you remember something that they said that they were doing 4 or 5 days ago, and that like you're fostering it more. It's more a sense of friendship.
Yeah. It
And
really
when they
is.
said that, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. Like there's a huge thing, and we're gonna go into it in a minute, but like I'm friendly with everyone in my community. Just because I want to make this safe place for my community to be. Because I have a motto that I shouldn't have to tell you it's a safe space. You should see from my actions that it is. So it's always been my
Yeah.
goal create that kind of that space. Um, but creating content can easily consume our entire lives, from content creation, planning evergreen content, researching, and networking. What specific boundaries have you established between your streaming persona and your personal identity?
So, I don't use my real
Oh,
name. I
absolutely.
try v
I
I try very hard not to use my real name, and, like, any friends that know me personally, that's actually one of the things they ask is, like, "Can I if I use your name, is that okay?" I was like, "Try not to, but if you
yeah,
slip up and call me my name, I'm not gonna like, you
yeah.
called me my name, my real name." So, I try to do that. I also just I not only I try to do games that are for everyone in the community, but also do some gaming that is just for myself.
Yes, I've caught myself where like I was playing a story game and I was really into it, Avowed, and I was like, I'm not enjoying it on stream as much as I am off stream. So I changed it up because I it's one of those games where you have to go here and go there, go here, go here, there, back and forth. To me, that's not entertaining. Like it's like to the watchers. So I was like, I'm going to play this by myself, and I enjoyed it. I beat it. Like you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, yeah, I had a game like that, actually, Hellblade.
but yeah,
Yes, Senua's Sacrifice.
I played them both.
It's like 'cause, uh, I tried, to play it on stream, and I wasn't having I just couldn't get into it on stream.
Yeah,
And then, it kinda, um, uh, came back in my, uh, back into my world because um, I have a Switch and it was like on sale, like a really good discount on the Switch,
Yeah.
and I played it, and it was like you can ask my friends. I was obsessed with this game, and that actually was like a teaching moment that sometimes you just need so you don't burn yourself out, and so it's still you still have that love and that joy and that grace for yourself by having things that are just yourself and then or that you just play for yourself, and then but also having, you know, I feel like you can feed that time in that you were just playing that game into other games you play, because it doesn't take away when you do that. You're not taking that joy away from
Yeah,
yourself. You're not.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, that's the biggest thing. The 2 biggest things is try not to use my real name on any of my social medias or my streams. And that do just, playing something that's just for you.
Yeah. So streaming in its nature has a parasocialness to it. Have you had experienced any situations where viewers might have crossed personal boundaries without naming any names or going into details? How did you address this while still maintaining a welcoming environment?
I haven't really experienced that, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's good. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good. Like, I've been doing this for 5 years and I've had a few times where I've just, me personally, my mods handled it. Like, one of my main mods, uh, he knows who he is. I'll be like, can you just handle this? And he's the bad guy. He just becomes the bad guy saying, what you did was wrong. This is what you did. This is why you're timed out for X or whatever, or this is why you're banned. Because um, he just says he likes being the bad guy. And
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I mod for other people. I'm like, I love being the bad guy. Like, because I don't want to be the bad guy to my community, but I'll be the bad guy to somebody else.
Yeah.
But so like for me, for like one of my boundaries is I only stream 3 days a week. I have 2 days for content creation, which like the podcast we're doing right now. And then I have 2 days to touch grass. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, because I have kids and I have partners and like I need time away from the screens. I need time to sit in someone's stream and just laugh and cackle and not be a mod or not be like anything and just enjoy myself. That's why, like, if don't be shocked if you see me in your stream just hanging out, like, and just having a good time because that's my time to be like just the nerd. But yeah,
Yes.
like I can tell you, I've been streaming for 5 years. There are people that I consider a friend, like they are a close friend. And I've interviewed them on the podcast. Um, and I consider them a close friend. They know about all my problems, and I go to them. They're like the first person. They still don't know my real name. I am nerd. I am nerd. Like so, like when I'm like playing a game and I get frustrated, I go nerd. Why'd you do that? Because I don't say my real name. I've programmed myself that like when I'm streaming, it's me, and I advise that to everyone because these parasocial relationships can develop. And if you don't notice the red flags, people can find you, which becomes a safety concern. Like,
Yeah.
but going on to like a lighter thing, I think self care is like one of the most important things we can do as creators. Do you have an approach to self care throughout your streaming journey? And if you did, has it changed over the year, over the time that you've been streaming?
No, I noticed it has, but it's changed for the better.
That's
Um,
good.
which like sometimes I would like just go and go and go, and then like I'm absolutely exhausted. Um, a couple of things that I do as far as self care is concerned, is I have a rule for myself, and I have it actually as a timer in my chats. is that okay, so we've gotten to a good stopping point. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna go get myself a snack. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself something to drink. I need you to guys to do that as well. Go get yourself a snack. Go get yourself a drink. Just chill a little bit, and we'll come back and play some more of the game.
Yeah.
And I do that every like hour or so, especially because sometimes um with my conditions, it can sitting for too long in one spot can trigger a flare for me.
Yes.
And,
I
and so
I do the same thing with my community. We run 3 minutes of ads every hour. So I look up at my like I have a little timer that dings at me at the top of the hour in my ear that no one else can hear. Dings at me, and I go, we're gonna have an ad break for 3 minutes. Gives me enough time to stand up, run, go get a glass of water, a snack, or whatever, and come right back. And my stream doesn't miss anything of me saying or talking. It was just me
yeah,
running, running throughout my house like a mad person. But we do that every hour. And I think that like you have to give yourself a stream break during stream, like stand up, stretch. And I think that's where Twitch is like was trying what they were trying to do with the automatic stretch and hydrate command. That's when you open up your Twitch as a broadcaster, you see that you automatic when you become an affiliate or a partner, you see that you have these automatic channel point redemptions. One's hydrate and one's stretch.
yes.
Part of they wanted us to have it part of our experience. So like, um, if you can travel back in time to the day before your first stream, what advice would you give yourself? What behaviors or habits did you fall into that you wish you could have avoided from the start?
Um, breathe.
Breathe.
Just
Yes.
yes, just breathe. Um, you're not going to be liked all the time. You're not going to be someone's cup of tea,
Oh, yeah.
and that's fine. Um, that is, uh, and honestly, this has actually transferred a lot into my life too. It's like not everyone's gonna like you, and that's okay.
It is okay.
Not,
Like,
yeah,
what were we told as
and
kids? Like, I may not be your cup of tea, but I may be your shot of whiskey. Like, I was always told that as a kid. And I never understood it until like I got into a performative background. Like,
yeah,
I know it even comes down to like some a variety streamer, for example. So I have for my 3 days, I have a different game I play. I know that people aren't going to come in for my Star Wars content. It may not be, they may not enjoy it, but they come in for my once human content. You know what I mean? They like that game.
yeah,
So like that's also something like you may want to like in your head go, oh, I know I want to play this game. And there are people in the community that want me to play it, but I may isolate a third of them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like because they don't want to watch it. And that's okay. It is okay because you may get 15 more people that want to watch that you play that game. And I think of it like the way, like I always tell people, like Mondays are Star Wars. Remember that if you like Star Wars, come back on Monday. You know what I mean? Because all people pop in. But now, like it's a bit I do now because I change games so often. Like so often, they're like I have people that haven't been in the stream for months and like, oh my god, I come into a new game. Like, um,
yeah. Yeah, I do. So, I do a lot of horror content. I actually
oh
have a friend that and cozy games. And I actually do have a friend that he'll come in and say like hi, but he basically lurks
yeah,
because horror
backbone of
games are not
Twitch.
his cup of tea.
Backbone of
Yeah.
Twitch. Lurkers are the backbone of Twitch.
Yes.
I'm a daytime streamer, like a central time zone daytime streamer, 11:30 to 3:30. I went from having an active chat at night to having more lurkers than I like. When you look at my numbers, I double those numbers being during the day, but most of them were lurkers, and I have no problem. You want to come in for when I'm just chatting and we're eating our lunch, and you just want to hang out and chit chat. But when I get into a game, you go lurk mode. Cool beans, like go do you. Everyone's busy. And the fact that I make streamer content, you can imagine the people that are in my community, I would say 99% of them are streamers. Like, like you do you. Like, I'll be here when you want to come back and hang out. Like, I have no, like, I think that was one of the hardest truths I had to swallow as well.
Yeah, it took a minute, and like I said, it actually is something that has kind of transferred over into real
Yeah, go
life
into that.
that my brain just was like, it's now it's like, guess what? You don't have to please everyone. Um, just
Who knew streaming could fix a X amount of year people pleasing problem that I had?
yes,
Like streaming fixed it. Like, like because I was always a people pleaser until I became a streamer. Until I said no, no more. I burned out bad. Like I burned
yeah,
out bad. Last year I took 9 months off, and I swore to myself I wasn't coming back. Swore to myself I wasn't coming back. But there's a circle of people out there that bugged me every week and every day, checked on me, make sure that like I was doing good. And what came out of that was this podcast. It
yeah,
was leaving a legacy. It isn't about like, to me, streaming is not the work. Streaming is the party. I'm hanging out with my
yes,
buddies. It's the work I do Thursday through Sunday. That's hard work. Editing, research, content making. But the stream, let's hang out. Let's kick up our feet, play some games. Like, you know what I mean?
just have fun. Because there's not, I mean, there is so much that goes on in real life, in the world, and everything. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just need to take that breath and just have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that when you change your perspective, like so many people starting out view streaming, for one, you can't just be a streamer in 2025 or whenever someone's listening to this. Um, Hopefully you guys are still listening in its future. But you can't just be a streamer. You have to be on YouTube. You have to be on TikTok. You have to be on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Threads. I love Threads. Like, you tell me a platform I was shocked that had any traction on, it would be Threads, because like this podcast wouldn't be alive without it. Because so many people were like, I was like, hey, do you think this is a good idea? And I was flooded, and I love it. And this podcast is a legacy. It's hopefully teaching or showing people that no matter how long you're streaming, we still have the same struggles. They just may be
Yes.
bigger and different, but we're still struggling too. And maybe we can solve. So before someone goes down like a follow for follow route, you know what I mean? Or a support for support server and finds out that does nothing. Like, maybe we can say, oh, that isn't a good idea because I went down that route. But beyond continuing our current content, are there any specific projects or events or directions you're excited to explore?
So, two things. I am a cosplayer as well. So I want to explore doing some like crafting, sewing,
Mm.
artsy kind arts type of content, whether it be on YouTube or do it via Twitch or uh whatever the case may be. And the second one is I have this idea of something that I wanted that of a podcast idea that I want to do.
Awesome.
And I keep like and I'll talk about it like every once in a while to my friends and I'm like, "Oh no, I don't know if I want I don't I doubt anyone would find this interesting."
You'll be
And they were like,
dumbfounded.
"No."
I'm still dumbfounded to this date that the people that have responded to this podcast, yes, took over a bunch of iterations before I fell into what I needed. But you know what? Take the leap, record something. Like, even if it's like a solo podcast, you know what I mean? Or if you're going to be with somebody else, record an episode, you know what I mean? And put it on Spotify and see
Yeah.
what the response is. Be like, I did this. What do you guys think? Should I do another one? And then do the same thing. hey, we did another, should I do another one? And because just taking the leap, like, yes, I do a lot of work. Yes, there's scheduling and booking, and because I do an interview style one, but you may not have that with, if you're going to do like a story time podcast, you know what I mean? Like a traditional podcast. It doesn't have to be video. I think when I did all my research, I found out people still listen to audio only podcasts. So I was like, it solves a whole bunch of things I don't have to worry about. No editing. Like
Yeah.
other than like I have a technical difficulty, which solving problems is makes my day so much better. Um,
Yes.
it really does. Is there a dream collaboration or a contact format that you haven't pursued?
Um, no, there's not really a dream collaboration. I want to actually do more collaborations. Um, and this is where sometimes my shyness um comes in. It's like I um want to do like more collaborations, and I probably there's probably a lot of people that are out there that are like open to do it, but I I get shying like
Yeah.
asking. um
The ones that have been some of the best ones are, so I do it every year on my birthday. I get as many streamers as I can, friends of mine, people I've networked with and stuff, people I'm in their communities and stuff. And I get them to play Goose Goose Duck because it can be like
oh,
up to
okay.
15 people and it's free. It's a game, it's a free game. I try to get as many streamers as I can, and we try to do the biggest shared chat we can on Twitch.
Okay.
And I do it for my birthday every year. And it's how I did it. I talked to a couple people directly and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this for my birthday. Would you want to be involved?" I go, and then I made the biggest Discord freaking message out to everyone I could think of. I said, "Hey, here's a date. This is the plan. This is the times. This is and if you need to convert this time, click here to a time converter that will convert it to your time. We're gonna do Goose Goose Duck. Bam. Just have a plan." Because when people hit me up for collaborations, and I learned this from a partnered streamer, is that have a plan. Not say, "Hey, I would love to play with you sometime," but saying, "Hey, I'm doing a stream on Friday the 13th. We're going to play Dead by Daylight at this time. Are you interested? Yes or no?" And then move on to the next person. Move on to the next person.
Okay.
Because my biggest thing is, if I started with zero and I write somebody and they say no, I'm still where I started. I'm not going backwards. I'm still at
Right.
zero, but until someone says yes. And so now I started with, I think the first year was 3 years ago. I started with like 10 people, and people coming and going too, like, because we streamed for 3 hours. So I had people that
Yeah.
were there in the beginning and they kind of came in and left, and it was a blast. But the plan when collaborating with people, I love it when someone hits me up and goes, "Hey, I want to play with you on West Human. This is when I stream." Like, this is what I want to work on. Like, it's totally a plan. Um, Thinking long term, what legacy do you hope to leave in the streaming space?
Um, long term, have grace for yourself.
Yeah.
Um, have fun. Um, try new things. Try um streamers that you or streams, or watch games that, hey, that's not my normal game, because you may find like
Hmm.
something that you absolutely love. But just and I say it to my friends all the time, and they're always like, "You need to take your advice."
You
But it's
do.
like,
I I have the same conversation with myself.
yeah. But just have grace for yourself
Yeah,
and have fun.
absolutely. I think that is I think those are like the best things. Just and remember to have fun. I think a lot of us get wrapped up in that it's work. You know what I mean? We work very hard to get where we're going and reaching our goals. I think we forget the reason we started was to have fun playing games with our friends. Um,
Yes.
for listeners who have connected with your story today, where can they best find and support your content? Are there any specific stream days that you stream on? What time in the time zone? Um, this is your time to shine. Like talk about
Okay.
who you are as a creator.
Okay. I stream. I'm trying to get to a little bit more of a consistent stream schedule. Which can kind of be a little hard with my work because we have releases that we do every every other week. But right now, I'm trying to do Thursdays. Thursdays starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, they can catch me on Twitch at Ladymalicysin. All my socials are Ladymalicysin. And Malison is spelled Malicysin. I know the weirdest spelling ever, but um, I was trying to get something unique where I wouldn't have to like have numbers behind it or anything like that. But yeah, you can catch me on Twitch on Thursdays. I have a series that I do on TikTok that is called Things I Learned from Horror Movies, and I'll have like rule a rule about that 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 I learned from watching a horror movie. Like nothing good happens in the basement. If children, um if if dolls are in the room in one room, be in the other. Just like
Yeah,
silly
those are great.
little rules of horror things, which is actually a lot of people find them funny. Um, and what I'll do is I'll say the role and then I'll give movies as an example. So it's kind of like a humor slash movie recommendation. Um, movie recommendation type thing. And lastly, I have a blog that I do reviews. My crafting stuff is gonna be on there. My things that I learned from horror are listed on there, and it is uh, Geek Mares and Nerdscapes.com.
Okay, guys, the ones that you don't have to worry about, like they'll all be linked in the description. If you're watching this on YouTube, they'll be in the description. If you're watching this on any other Spotify platform, it'll be in the episode listing. But yes, but those streamer conversations. If this resonated with you, please share it with a friend who might need to hear it. Remember, every creator's path is unique and valuable. Want to tell your streaming story on our show? The application link is in the description. I'm your host, Nerd Titan, and I'll catch you next time as we continue exploring the real stories behind the stream.